Hi, Dave Skocik for PR Delaware. We brought the crew down to historic Smyrna, Delaware for today's show. We'll speak to the mayor, the superintendent of schools, and we'll talk to the president of the Smyrna Opera House. Stick around, we've got a great show for you. Hello, Dave Skocik for PR Delaware. Welcome to another edition. I'm in the historic town of Smyrna this week, and I'd like to introduce the mayor, Joanne Masten.
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to be with you. I know there's a lot of good things going on in Smyrna. Tell me about your own background.
I actually was born and raised in Smyrna, educated here, and ultimately migrated to Wilmington, Delaware to work. Ended up as a worldwide customer care manager for Hercules Incorporated out of Wilmington, Delaware. Had 41 wonderful years there, traveled around the world, and elected to retire September of 2010, and was bored and decided to file for council.
You certainly bring a treasure trove of experience to the job here. I know we talked about your vision for the town of Smyrna. Tell me a little bit about that.
What I'd like to see is a balance here with both manufacturing and retail, but also some specialty type boutiques like they have down at Berlin, Maryland. I want to make sure that we have a safe community, and I also want it to be vibrant, especially in the downtown area where there's lots of things to do, and we've started that process already. I want Smyrna to be a destination. I just don't want to be a little turnoff of Route 13 or Route 1. I want to be a destination where people want to come here, and perhaps they enjoy it so much here they ultimately buy a home or rent a property and become full-time residents. Most importantly, I like what the newspapers are doing for us. The News Journal, as well as the Delaware State News, Smyrna-Clayton Sun, it says, "We be cool." And actually, you know, it seems kind of corny, but to me, I have a lot of pride in that statement because Smyrna's always been cool to me because this has been my home, but I want it to be cool to others, and I think we are finally getting the word out that things are happening in Smyrna.
And of course, we mean cool in the best sense, in the current
Absolutely,
sense.
absolutely, absolutely. It's important.
I know there's a lot of growth, the various buildings going up. I see restaurants and such. What's the population of Smyrna now, and what's it projected to be?
Right now, the population is 11,537 people. The state of Delaware has indicated by 2020 we will be at 20,000.
It's only 4 years.
I know, but we're gearing up for that.
So what services are people looking for when they come here?
Obviously, they want an excellent electrical service, which I believe that we have the best in the state. I would stack our electrical crew up against anybody's. They want good quality water, and obviously it's proven we have good quality water because Blue Oil Brewing, which is a beer manufacturer, has tested many water sites within the state and determined Smyrna had the best, and they're now here. They obviously want trash services. They want street sweeping. They want waste pickup. When people mow grass and cut trees, they don't want to haul it because you'd have to haul it to a dump and pay. They like the fact that the town of Smyrna provides that service. You mow your grass, you cut your trees, you put it out on the street, and the town does daily pickups. They like that kind of thing. The other services they want, I believe, is they want fun places to go. Much like we're just opened a beautiful downtown inn at Duck Creek. We have a beautiful opera house here in town. We have the museum, which is a beautiful place to go with different displays on a monthly basis. But I know as a resident here, those are the things I'm looking for, and as I'm out and about, and I'm out and about a lot, I think people are pretty happy with where we are right now in town, although they want more, and so do I, and we were set a path to achieve that goal.
And I know people are looking for good schools, education, cultural opportunities, plays and such. You mentioned the Playhouse. We're going to talk more about the Opera House. We'll be talking more about that. You didn't mention medical facilities, and I know you've got a first-class facility here.
Yes, we do. Bay Health out of Dover has opened a beautiful facility on Carter Road. We also have the Smyrna Wellness Center here, which is affiliated with a Christiana Care. And we have a lot of really good doctors here. First State Orthopedic has located here at the Wellness Center. We have Premier Physical Therapy, which has top-notch physical therapy services, but not to say that they're the only one because there are other companies here, but we are really striving to provide all the services possible in the town of Smyrna.
Now, your population is going to almost double or projected to double in the next 4 years. Where are these people coming from?
They're coming from actually all over the United States, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, the West Coast, the Texas area. And we've had a lot of people come from overseas as a result of Dover Air Force Base. Being in Dover, there's people being transferred in here. So it's sort of, you think of Rehoboth Beach as being a melting pot for various individuals. It's beginning to be that point here in Smyrna also.
I know you're centrally located, not far from Philadelphia, not far, of course, from Wilmington or even Washington, D.C. The folks who are coming here, why are they coming here specifically? Like what age group? Are retirees?
We have a large influx, obviously, of retirees that come out of New York and Jersey. And the reason that I'm told is they come because it's lower property taxes. In most cases, what they pay here a year, they may well be paying on a monthly basis. And obviously, when you retire, you're living on a fixed income. So your income's not going up as fast as what the inflation is. So it is much cheaper to live here. The other reason I think they come here is Smyrna is a great place to raise children. It really is. And perhaps I'm a little bit prejudiced because I was born and raised here. My son was born and raised here.
Well, you know it better than the average person.
My
Let's put it that way.
grandchildren, I have 4 that were born and raised here, all 4 going through Smyrna High School just like I did. And you know the quality that you have, and there's a sense of pride when you live in Smyrna. As an example, our school district, we just won another championship recently. The football championship we won at Sally's was a marvel to me. When you looked at the University of Delaware stadium seats, it was a sea of red. So it's just pride, and I think when people come here, they sense that passion that we all have, and they want to raise their families here.
So you're able to incorporate your vision that you learned, again, in the corporate world, a broad vision, you're well-traveled and such. And how does that, how do you see that working with building Smyrna to accommodate all these folks and all the opportunities that,
Well,
I know we talked about that.
I think the one thing that's really important, because I was very fortunate coming from the corporate world, you learn about doing strategic plans. And you have a short-term plan, maybe 5 years out. A long-term plan is 10 years out. So you kind of determine what your staffing needs are, your technology needs, maybe in the case of the town of Smyrna, your equipment needs. And you have to sit down and really think about statement about what do you want to be when you grow up. Because it is very important when you create that vision. As an example, a lot of people may not know, because of the state's projection, right now we have a beautiful town hall located on Market Street Plaza, and it accommodates the needs that we have today. But moving forward, that may or may not be the case. So what we've done recently is purchase the properties in back of Town Hall. We're going to use them as rental properties in order to, help pay for the utilities and what have you. But at some point in time, Town Hall is going to have to be expanded. And we will be prepared today, with today's property values being down, we're prepared for that growth in the future if we have to expand Town Hall. And if for some reason we don't have to expand for a few years, we'll continue to rent.
Sounds very exciting, and anything you'd like to add as we close?
No, I'm proud to be the mayor of the town of Smyrna because I am very passionate about the town of Smyrna. And I, like many of the other residents in the town of Smyrna, we really do care about our current day, and we also worry about our future, and we need to plan accordingly.
Thank you so very much for being with us. I'm with Joanne Masten, Mayor of Smyrna.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome back. I'm with Debbie Wicks, Superintendent of the Smyrna School District. She has a lot to talk about. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Tell me about your school district. I know you're excited about sports teams and a whole bunch of other things.
Well, there's lots of good news in the Smyrna School District. We have 5,200 students. We have 700 employees. We are a growing school district located in the town of Smyrna, town of Clayton, and Kenton. We have just recently had championship teams in wrestling and football. We're looking very good in basketball. Our girls' indoor track took second in the state. So we're doing quite well in every area when it comes to athletics.
It's good to hear that the girls are doing well.
Yes,
girls teams.
Yes. We have a wonderful girls' basketball team that looks very promising also.
So I know you had a lot that you wanted to talk about the teams and about your school board, I believe you mentioned.
I have a wonderful school board. We have a 5-member school board, 3 women, 2 men, many of them serving their second term. They are very supportive of the school district. They look at every area of the school district and can't wait to help us with our progress. They've been very supportive of our construction too.
Okay. So you must be very successful at what you do because you've been on board, is it 18 years?
I have been, yes.
So apparently you are keeping people happy and moving forward. And tell me more about the buildings.
Well, in our school district, we've doubled in size since I've been the superintendent. And so then we've had to double our capacity. So when I first became the superintendent, we had not built a new school for 30 years. And then once we started to build, we have not stopped. We've added on to every school. We've built several new schools, and we have wonderful facilities. And probably one of the reasons we're so excellent in sports is we have wonderful sports facilities.
Okay, and you've got obviously good coaches.
We have great coaches, and of course we have the most important thing, we have great students. We have outstanding students in every area, pre-K to 12.
And I know you mentioned community values. How does that factor in?
Well, when I became the superintendent, one thing that I wanted to do was talk about when students left our school district, did they know what is it that we stood for? And so working with the town of Smyrna, the town of Clayton and Kenton, we talked about what is it that we would want to say we stood for. So we came up with 5 values: responsibility, respect, perseverance, integrity, and compassion. And so everything we do is based on those 5 goals.
So that's sports and academics.
Absolutely.
And how does your faculty factor into that, and school support staff?
Well, we have very loyal faculty. I think that we have the best retention of faculty in the state. Many of our staff have lived here their whole lives, went away to college, came back. They love teaching here. Matter of fact, we have an event every year that is called I Love the Smyrna School District, and that is a highlight for our community because all of our clubs and organizations, our churches, come together on that day. We have 182 tables of organizations, and we gather like a big Smyrna party. And the success of it is that we have mini concerts all day long. So our kindergartners sing, and then all those folks come out to hear them. Then they come through the tables.
I guess that comes out of community pride.
Yes, that's right.
I have several friends who come down here. Of course, I live in Dover, but I have a number of friends who do come down here for the I Love Smyrna Day. And they talk about it all the time. And of course, it makes it in the paper. And obviously, it's a very successful thing. Does that pride really start in the school district? I know you said I Love Smyrna Schools, so it must have.
Well, for that day, yes, but all of our community comes together. Our community is a community that loves our children. And so they've supported our children in so many different ways. And of course, with their tax dollars.
So you were talking about with the building. How long ago was the new high school built?
Well, the high school was built in 1970,
Okay.
but the additions were added in 2001, I think, too, right in there. So we went out the front, out the back, and out the sides. But in Smyrna, we really don't tear anything down. We just add on to it.
Well, when you have a town that dates back to 1768, I would think that there's a lot of historicity involved with the town.
Well, we've been graduating students for 132 years.
Gosh.
We're going to celebrate our 132nd graduation this year.
So what's in terms of direction in the future that you see for the school district?
Well, we're always updating our curriculum. We are very into technology, of course, as every school district would be.
Absolutely.
And we're always updating that. Certainly that's very costly, and the state is helping us with some of that, the infrastructure. We are developing different pathways for our students. So the high school has many pathways. For example, we've just added allied health. We've added engineering, along with our ag and our regular academics. We are getting ready to add immersion, Spanish immersion in kindergarten, so that next year we hope to have a class of kindergartners who will start out half a day with Spanish and half a day with English.
I know one of the issues that higher education is looking at, particularly like at Delaware Tech, is people who are qualified to go out and work who are specialized, not necessarily with a college degree, but somebody who's got very specialized education. And it seems that you're also incorporating that whole idea into your education.
We've always had a variety of courses that you could take, but we didn't have the health piece of it. And of course, in our community, there are many job opportunities in the health field. So allied health was a great addition for us. And the same with the engineering piece. We needed to add that.
What website can people look at to find out more about the school district?
Well, it's the Smyrna School District at smyrna.k12.de.us.
And we'll show that on the screen. And
Okay,
people
great.
can put in keywords.
Super.
Is there anything that you'd like to add as we wrap?
Well, I'm just really proud of the Smyrna School District. I'm a very local hometown girl. I've grown up here, and it is a great place to raise your children.
Well, thank you very much for being with us. I'm with
sure.
Debbie Wicks, Superintendent of the Smyrna School District. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Dave Skocik. Welcome back. I'm with Donna Cantillon, President of the Smyrna-Clayton Heritage Association, also known as the Smyrna Opera House. Donna, welcome.
Thanks.
Let's talk about the Opera House. I understand there's a lot goes on there. In fact, I know there is, and a number of people before you have spoken about it. Tell me what actually happens there.
We have a lot going on at the Opera House. We have entertainment, different bands come. We have 2 community theaters that call the Opera House home. We have piano lessons, and we have entertainment and cultural experiences for the community.
How many events do you have there? Is it yearly or monthly?
Oh, monthly,
Monthly.
And just about weekly. We have, the building is busy, it's buzzing just about every night of the week.
That's so important to have that cultural aspect available to you. What kind of venues do you have? What kind of plays, community theater?
We have community
Set?
theater, we
Yeah.
have our own Phoenix players who called Dessert Theater. And they're getting ready to go in auditions and rehearsals.
Tell me about that, Dessert Theater.
That's a fun thing that we developed, the Smyrna-Clayton Heritage Association developed. We decided we wanted to do a theater, do a production, a play, and we decided that we wanted to do food, but nobody felt like cooking dinner or anything, so we decided, well, we'll just bring desserts. So that's why we call it Dessert Theater.
Interesting concept. Well, what kind of turnout do you get for these events?
It's a good turnout. We have mostly local people that come to see people that they know on stage. It's a fun event.
I understand the mission is to showcase and develop artistic talent and provide affordable access. I think that's really important for
Exactly.
for a town the
exactly.
size of Smyrna to have that involvement. Now, if I wanted to take piano lessons, tell me about that.
Well, you could call the office, and they would get you in touch with the person that does piano lessons for us, and it's actually my daughter. So she does piano lessons
Really?
on Saturday mornings at the Smyrna Opera House.
Tell me the history of the Opera House.
Well, it's a great old building. The Smyrna Opera House is the second floor of the building that's called Old Town Hall, and it's owned by the town of Smyrna. And it was built, it's a great historic building, built in 1870. And the folks back in 1870 wanted a community center, and they wanted a place to meet and get over the strife of the Civil War. So it was a place for them to come together and talk. And it was also a great place for politicians to come and roving entertainment.
Okay. So I understand you put a lot of money renovating the building.
We did. The Smyrna-Clayton Heritage Association formed in 1994, and with the dual mission of historic preservation and promotion of the arts. And a lot of us had experience with the Smyrna Opera House, with Old Town Hall, as it was a place where we went to Girl Scout meetings and so forth. And we noted that the building was in bad shape. And so we did a feasibility study, see if it was feasible to renovate, and it was. So we raised $3.6 million.
Wow.
And started renovating in 1998, and we opened in 2003, debt-free, and we're very proud of that.
You must be a really good fundraiser. Where'd the money come from?
Oh, everywhere. But a lot of money, federal money and state money, but a lot of money came from the local people here in Smyrna because they love their opera house and they love Old Town Hall.
They believed in it, part of the history.
Yes.
Kind of like the Schwartz Center in Dover, but
Kind of.
you did it for about 1/3 of the cost.
Yeah.
So that's got to be helpful.
Yeah.
So you do have a lot of venues going on there. People are involved. They feel that it's part of them, apparently.
Yeah, we do. We have a passionate board members that run the building and work on the committees and volunteer, and we keep the place going.
So how long have you been president?
I've been president about 1.5 years, but I've been active with the organization since its inception. I'm a founding board member.
It's a labor of love with you. You don't get
It
paid
is.
for this.
No, I don't.
So your board members, the same thing. They don't get paid.
No, they don't.
just volunteer.
They're just passionate about the place, and they want it to work.
What do you see as your biggest challenge?
Oh, it's always money. It's always money. We're always fundraising, trying to find ways to raise money to keep the place going. And this last year it's been a big challenge because it's an old building, and lots of the systems have decided to break down, heating, air conditioning, and so it's a challenge to come up with the money to repair.
Can people become members?
Yes, they can. You can access our website, smyrnaoperahouse.org.
Smyrnaoperahouse.org. And is there a number they can call?
653-4236.
Okay. Well, that'll be on the screen. Hopefully people will check in. So do they become volunteers? How do they contribute?
Yes, you can donate money, and you can also, we also always need volunteers. We have a wonderful guild that's a volunteer group, and there's all kinds of jobs that you can do to help the Smyrna Opera House.
Now, can people rent the facility out for their own events?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add? Sounds like a wonderful venue.
I just want you to check us out on our website and check our event schedule and come out and see us. It's a sweet room. It's a sweet venue.
Can people order tickets online?
Yes, they can. Yes.
Can't make it any easier than that. They know what's playing, they know what's coming. They can. Well, wonderful. Thank you very much. It's been very good to be with you, and we'll be right back. We hope you enjoyed today's show from historic Smyrna, Delaware. We look forward to seeing you next time on PR Delaware. I'm Dave Skocik.